Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
What's going on, champions? Welcome to another
This
episode.
was gonna be your microphone cut. I thought this was gonna be the day we hit it right the first time.
What?
Izzy, you heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Okay. What the heck is juice? What's going on, champions? Welcome to another episode of the Perspektiv podcast. Tune in the heart of mentorship. Let's go.
We did it. Third time's
Yep.
a charm.
Welcome to the Perspektiv podcast. My name's Dylan.
I am Kwame Ose.
And I'm Izzy Castillo.
All
And
right.
this-
Well, yo, can we get it right? Like, what the heck?
You-
That was my fault. That was my fault.
You're the hype man. We know this.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Perspektiv podcast. My name's Dylan.
I am Kwame Ose,
And I'm Izzy Castillo.
and you're listening to the Perspektiv podcast. Tuning in, Heart of Champions. Let's go.
How you guys feeling today?
Feeling good. I'm feeling great. How you feeling, Izzy?
Feeling older and wiser every day.
Actually, you know what? I'm actually lying a bit. Well, actually, I don't want to take away from you guys' birthday, but my neck is hurting me. So if I seem really stiff, that's the reason. Like, I can't really turn this way that much. I have to like turn my whole body.
Old
man
I'm
problems.
feeling older. So she just
Old
reminded
man cardio. Yeah.
Old man
What's
cardio,
going
bro.
on?
I was
What
doing
happened?
some pull-ups this morning. I don't think I warmed up efficiently, man. You gotta lubricate the joints sometimes, you know? Hey, so happy birthday to Dylan and Izzy. If you guys
Thank
didn't
you,
know.
thank you,
birthday
thank you.
twins.
Thank you.
You two were born in the same year too, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Literally twins, like literally soul twins. So
The
all right,
why.
so let me ask you guys this, and Dylan, you know this, Izzy, you know this already. You know, there's a question I ask everybody when it's their birthday, just because I truly believe when it's your birthday, it's your new year. Your birthday is your new year, not New Year's, these January 1st, or when December 31st ends. Your birthday is your new year. So I truly believe that as we live and we age, we change, right? And if we cannot change while we grow, then we're wasting time on earth. We're not really living. So with that being said, Dylan and Izzy, since today, well, it's passed a couple of days ago, but we're celebrating now on YouTube and Spotify and iTunes. Since today is your birthdays, your New Year's, tell me something you learned in the last year that you didn't know before. Just one thing.
This year, or last year, it was a growing year. So it was a year of me recognizing that I have a lot of strengths. I have a lot to say, and I can take space in the world, and then I'm worthy of love. So a lot of those lessons were coming out for me in really challenging times, but definitely put me more grounded into who I was, who I thought it was, and also knowing that, you know, I'm able to be a lot more out there and show my confidence and be out there stepping into my power. So that was my last year of learning lessons.
That's facts, man. Through struggle comes strength, you know.
Mhm.
Let's go. Better, stronger, wiser. Let's go, Izzy. All right, Dylan, no pressure, man. But she set the bar high.
He just walked out of the room. The pressure was way too
Bro,
high for him.
Too high.
Wow, Dylan.
You know what happens under pressure? Diamonds. I
True.
had to. I was reading this morning, and there was a part in this book I read this morning that really hit home. Bring that to the camera. It's called "The Archer" by Paulo Coelho.
That's the same author from Alchemist, right?
That is nice.
Everyone's got to read that book.
100%.
So pretty much there's the archer, okay? He's like the grandmaster archer. And this guy comes to him and he says, I think I'm better than you. let me try. So he takes out his bow, he gets his arrow prepared, and from 40 yards away, he bullseye hits a cherry off of a cherry tree. So the archer, he said, okay, follow me. So they walk through the forest and they go to this bridge, and this bridge is over water and it's swaying with the wind, and there's splashes from the waterfall in his face, and he pulls out his bow and he hits a peach from 20 feet away. And he says to the guy, he says, now you hit a cherry from 40 yards away. You should be able to hit a peach that's bigger than a cherry from 20 yards away. Target's bigger and you're closer. Hit the peach. The guy goes out on the bridge. Whoa, not even close. So he said, well, after the guy missed the peach, he came back. I'm going to read this from the book. The archer says to him, when he returned back, you have skill, dignity, and posture. You have a good grasp of technique, and you have mastered the bow, but you have not mastered your mind. You know how to shoot when all the circumstances are favorable, but if you are on dangerous ground, you cannot hit the target. The archer cannot always choose the battlefield. So start your training again and be prepared for unfavorable situations. Continue in the way of the bow, for it is the whole life's journey. But remember that a good, accurate shot is very difficult from one made with peace in your soul. Boom.
Okay.
Facts.
So to answer your question, this past few years, I've been feeling pretty nice with my bow skills, thinking I'm the man. And this year I found myself on a shaky bridge, and I did my best to hit that peach. I think I grazed it. I think I did all right, but it reminded me to dial it back down. It's easy to say things and think things when the wind's blowing in your direction. You know what I'm saying? But if you can stay true to yourself and stay true to your beliefs in the toughest times, that's when you know you've mastered your own mind. So
That's facts.
that's what I learned this year.
As you're reading that story, and for first of all, like yes, you did definitely grow a lot this year, and I know you were put through situations that most people can't handle, and I wouldn't wish on anybody. So shout out to you for growing from this. And truthfully, that's where this podcast came from. Your experiences through the past year. As you're reading that, in my head, what I was visualizing was something I posted the other day also, that being adaptable is a essential life skill. Being adaptable is an essential life skill, because sometimes life's gonna hit you in the face, man. Everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. Now, what are you gonna do when you get hit in the mouth? Are you gonna fall? Are you gonna crumble? Or are you gonna find a way to get up and adapt and overcome and conquer? Are you gonna adapt and conquer? So we gotta be adaptable in every situation. Sometimes the wind is gonna be nice and easy, and sometimes the wind is gonna be blowing so hard you can't even hold the bow. But you gotta adapt and go against it or go with it. You gotta figure out the way to shoot the arrow that's gonna maximize your opportunity to hit the peach, to hit the cherry. So be adaptable, man. Be adaptable in life. Like, that's all I gotta say.
And that whole mindset, that growth mindset that we always talk about, and knowing that any situation you're in or any thing that you experience, it's really about looking at it from that growth mindset and knowing that you can adapt and conquer, and know that there's always a lesson to be learned in any situation you're in. Even if it really challenges you, it's probably the best lesson you will have to learn.
That's facts. You guys want to stay on this topic? I kind of have a little bit of stay, or do you want to move to the questions?
No, I'm good, but I just want to give a quick shout out. This was a gift from someone that we all know, a great teacher, mentor, Brooke McMillan. So shout out, Brooke.
What's
Thank
up,
you
girl?
for the birthday present.
So back
Continue.
to, like, Izzy kind of just brought it up with a growth mindset. I feel like we need to touch on that because not everybody knows what a growth mindset is. A growth mindset, somebody with a growth mindset.
Hold on, Kwame.
Yeah.
What is a growth mindset? Sound
So
bites.
a growth mindset is seeing the ability to do something as a muscle. So what I'm trying to say is that, let's say you're not good at, let's say catching a pass. You see that as, okay, it's something I got to build on. So I got to work to get better. Somebody with a growth mindset sees obstacles as character building opportunities. Somebody with a fixed mindset, which is the opposite of a growth mindset, sees obstacles as the end. They see the fact that if you're not able to catch a ball, you will never be able to catch a ball. If you're not able to write a poem, you will never be able to write a poem. If you're not able to read or write, you will never be able to read or write. That's what somebody with a fixed mindset has, but a growth mindset understands that I can get better little by little. I can get better by trying a little extra harder. I can get better by spending more hours on my craft. So the difference between a growth mindset is simply this. The growth mindset person understands that they can get better. The fixed mindset person just takes life for what it is and feels like they can never get better.
Why are we talking about that? Why is that important? Because when I see a kid, when I deal with a kid and I look at the people who are influencing their lives, whether that's another kid, whether that's adult, you got to lead by example. And if that's all that kid's been seeing his whole life is a mom or a dad or aunt or something that's always like, oh, I can't do this, never do this, never. The kid will adopt that mindset. So when we talk about these bigger lessons about like practice with what you preach, that's a big one. Is showing kids that, it's okay to fail, but we keep growing, we keep getting better. And once you can put that in someone's mind, then they adopt that mindset, you're unstoppable. And
Facts.
that's why these bigger lessons, hi Aria, we got a guest. Welcome to the podcast world. It's Aria's first podcast. But yeah, that's what we're always trying to do with these bigger lessons, because everything that you do, everything you think, and that goes back to what Izzy said last time, it's not a job, it's a lifestyle, because everything you do has an impact. Okay, so this is what we do. Yeah, you already know. Yeah, sorry, I'm done.
An analogy I like to always use, because I talk to schools about this through Queen's University. I do growth mindset talks with elementary aged students. An analogy I like to use with understanding what growth mindset is simply this. Let's say it's the summertime. It's like July, early August, right? What kind of clothes is somebody usually going to be wearing at that time, Dylan or Izzy?
I'm the worst person to ask because I wear a sweater in summer.
Shorts and a t-shirt.
You're wearing shorts and a t-shirt, something comfortable, something that has good ventilation, something that you could cool off in, right? Because it's really hot outside at that time of the year. So here's a question. Let's say you're stuck outside, right? And you're wearing your shorts and t-shirt, and now the weather has changed, and it's like early January right now. Actually, it's February right now. Late January, early February, and the weather has changed. What are you going to be wearing outside at this time? Are you going to be wearing the same shorts and t-shirt, or are you going to be wearing something else? What are you going to be wearing, Dylan?
February, right now, it's -50. Yo, I got extra socks on. Yeah. I got extra socks. I got my Canada Goose. I got double toque action. I got -50 gloves that say -50, but I think they kind of lie because I was out there at -50 and it was still cold, bruv. Sorry, was that too much? It's real cold out here right now. I'll chill out.
That's all good. But essentially what you did is that you adapted to the weather. You didn't just stay outside in the shorts and t-shirt, because you wouldn't survive. That's what life is. We have to be adaptable. A motto that me and a bunch of my buddies used to go by was adapt or perish. If you can't adapt, you're going to perish. You can't adapt, you're not going to survive the elements. You're not going to survive the obstacles that come your way. So adapt, because when you adapt, you evolve. And that's what life is about. Be adaptable.
And someone was mentioning to me this one day, and I never saw it this way. And I was like, that is genius of a metaphor. But looking at the woods and the forests and looking at trees, and they're out there weathering all the different seasons, being challenged by those -40s that Dylan's living there in Fort Mac. And we look at when you look at those ecosystems and how they survive and they adapt to whatever the climate changes are happening in our world, they build stronger roots and they really adapt to what's happening in the environment. So when we look back at nature and how much nature has to teach us about these things, it's literally out there when you see it that trees are out there living for years and have been adapting to every climate change that's been happening. And that's just like when you think of our own adaptability, that's something that we need to consider and kind of implement in our life and our own growth mindset, that we're able to conquer those things if we just know to adapt to the environments.
Bang. That's so true. Nature is one of the greatest teachers, eh? Real
Mhm.
talk. Okay, let's get back on script. I think we got to answer at least one question. We're like
All
18
right.
minutes deep.
You guys want to hear?
My battery's running low, by the way.
You-
I don't know
you-
why it's slow right now. I'm actually worried. Pause. I think I really have to hold on.
And go. Should be good. No?
What the heck is juice? Okay, I'm recording. All right, we're back. Sorry about that technical difficulties. My battery died on my camera, so I'm using my phone camera. So if the quality is a little different, you know why.
He's
All
still
right.
looking fresh.
Where we
though.
at?
Still looking fresh.
Thank you.
Still
See,
looking fresh.
this is why you're my girl, Izzy. Like, that's family right there. Appreciate you. Saying thanks, Dylan. Appreciate you too. All right. So what were we talking about? Like we had a good vibe going, a good
We're in the
energy going.
flow, in the zone.
Yeah, we're in the flow. Let's get back.
We were about to check out question number 1. That's what we were
yes,
about to
this
do.
week's questions. Let's go. All right, Dill, are you ready? Are we gonna get a drum roll going or what?
I'm pulling it up right now. You guys
All
get
right,
your
ready?
elbows warm before this drum roll. I don't need any old man neck cramping up here. Like, all right, go. Okay. You ready? Here we go. This is a big one. Do you feel that technology has had more positive or more negative impact on the mental health of youth? Whoa.
Wow. That's a serious question. Who wants to start off?
It's always good to take a second. Just
Yeah.
digest that one.
Together.
Yeah.
Gather your thoughts.
All right. So I think this is one of those questions where people always want to look at it very black and white. Like it's good, it's bad, but we all know that this world, we live in the gray. So nothing's one answer or the other. So you kind of got to take things case by case. I do think that there's a lot going on that we're not gonna know about. Like we see and experience what's happening today, but we don't know the effects of growing up in this kind of world, 20, 25 years down the line. Like, what are the kids gonna be like? The ones who grew up with technology, what are they going to be like, when they're our age? Because we didn't grow up like this. Like, this came kind of when we were in high school. But now it's like, it's an extra appendage. It's part of you. You carry this phone everywhere. Like, what's the effects it has on us? What's the effects it has on them? So, yeah, I really struggle with this question, honestly. And especially with COVID times, like, for the longest time, I was really kind of against technology. Like I got rid of the whole computer lab in the youth center. We got rid of some of the video game consoles, trying to do more like activities. And then boom, just like that, the world shuts down. And now I'm like, okay, we need more technology. We need more,
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. I think, when adults have terrible boundaries with technology, that gets passed on to the youth that are in their lives. It goes back to what I always say is like, it's just a tool, and you can use that or abuse that. And one question I always ask to the kids I deal with is like, why are you using this? Like, are you doing it consciously or are you doing it unconsciously? You just pick up your phone because there's empty space and you got to fill that space with somewhere, or were you actually having intention? Were you actually trying to message someone to find out information? Were you actually trying to watch a video that you wanted to watch? Were you at like, did you put a conscious thought into picking up that phone and doing something, or is it just controlling you? And I also got people to like write down habits. So like, how much screen time did you spend? And then so I do this little daily like chart. So it's like, how is my motivation on this? How is my exercise on this? How is my, and you put a out of 1 to 10, like what were you doing? And then reflecting back on those days, like what's your overall mood? So out of 1 to 10. So, and 10 for me and also for them, like the more screen time, the decreased mood score was. So yeah, it's a tough one, but I just think like being conscious of the way you're using it and the why you're using it is the best you can do.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, same thing, you know. I think here's the thing. I think in life everything is about balance,
I was just
right?
gonna say that. I was just
Sorry.
gonna say that.
Everything's about balance. Like too much of anything is not good for you, right?
Mhm.
If you eat too much of junk food, it's not good for you. You're gonna gain weight. If you consume too much of even something that's positive, it's not good for you because then your view might be distorted. You know what I mean? So balance is everything in life, and like I find for me personally, like, and Dylan, you know this, in the past, like I used to be a real like phone guy. Like everywhere I go, my phone's in my hand. Like I'm in a meeting, my phone's in my hand, and I'm thinking I can multitask, but I'm really not. I'm just fooling myself. But and
Yep.
it's so
Yo, that
disrespectful
used to
to
piss
people
me
in front of
off.
me. You and my wife, like everybody would be mad at me. I'm like, yeah, I'm listening, like chill, you know. But it's
He was
bad because
never listening.
I was literally addicted, and honestly, awakening happened to me when I was on Amazing Race. You know, you all thought I wouldn't be able to handle myself not having my phone, but I woke up through being on the Amazing Race because we weren't allowed phones. And I distinctly remember one day, I forgot what flight it was, but we're on a flight, we're about to get off the plane, and I stood up and I was in the aisle just getting ready to leave because I really wanted to just get off the plane, you know, because it's a race, right? And I looked around the moment we landed and the moment we're safe to have our phones out. Everybody on the flight, except the people that were on Amazing Race, had their phones. It looked like everybody was robots, like literally, like programmed. The moment we landed, bang, everybody's heads down on their phones. And it was like we were on the outside looking in, and I from that at
Mm.
that moment I saw the impact of technology. Um, but at the same time, you know what? Technology is good. You know, kids have more access to so many different things. They have more access to information. Information is accessible to them. They have access to speak to impactful people in this world. They have access to speak to people they aspire to be. They have access to study people they aspire to be. But at the same time, they have more access to more distorted views of what the world is supposed to be. They have access to more mental health issues. You know, a lot of people are on Instagram and or social media watching all these people that post these amazing pictures and videos of them, the best parts of their day, and they frame it in the sense of that's how their life is on a consistent basis. And then what happens is that we start focusing more on people's lives and less on our lives, right? We start giving more energy to other people's lives and start thinking less of our lives. So in that sense, technology is not good, you know. But like I said, too much of anything is is bad for you, and you have to use things within reason. If you're the type of person that gets easily affected by seeing other people succeed, easily affected by seeing people post the great things in their life and makes you wonder about your life, then hey, you know what? Evaluate your life, evaluate what affects your mental health, what affects your moods, and understand that, hey, I need to cut this out a bit. I need to take a break from social media. You know, if social media is having a negative effect on you, if technology is having a negative effect on you where you're not listening to your friends and your spouse speak, then hey, take a little break. You know, make adjustments in your life. Like what I said before, be adaptable,
Okay,
right? So, yeah.
question. Because we know balance is important. Okay, you had your own awakening at a certain point in time, but I'm a parent. My kid never gets off the phone. My kid never gets off the video game. Help me. What do I do? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to do. I try to talk to them about this. They don't want to, like, where do I go from here?
I think you make yourself more uh, from the outside looking in. Sometimes parents say this, but are they really doing everything? Are they really exhausting all options in terms of getting their kid off the computer, off the video game, off the phone? Are you spending time with your kid? Are you spending
Mm.
quality time with your kid? Are you
Mm.
making yourself accessible to your kid, or are you coming from work, doing whatever you need to do on a computer, checking your emails, watching TV, and not really communicating with your kids? And sometimes your form of bonding, your form of time together is just watching TV and not communicating. Hey, that's not communication. That's not what human beings were put on this earth for. That's not connection. So maybe evaluate your lifestyle. Take a seat, take a step back, evaluate your lifestyle, evaluate the way you communicate with your child, and then find new ways to connect with your child. Find new activities to do with your child. Go outside for a walk, man. Just go outside for a walk and just, at first they might be reluctant, but
Yeah, easy for you to say. It's not minus 50
it's
where
not
you
minus
are.
30. Yeah, it's not minus 40.
He's
but
walking on sunshine where he's at.
bundle up, do what you need to do, even go for a drive.
Yeah.
A nice drive. And one thing I've learned over the last few years, and I'm a city guy, so you guys might be, Dylan, you're gonna be very surprised about this, is that nature is therapeutic.
Woo!
Everything that
Pull up. Say it again.
nature is therapeutic. Engulf yourself in nature. I truly believe that human beings were connected to nature, we're connected to each other, and if we could just separate ourselves from all these distractions, all this technology and social media and everything, just go in nature. We'll be one with ourselves again and build that connection. So that's my view on that.
I just want to hear this Kwame go back and say those words to 16, 17-year-old Kwame.
Oh
And
man,
be like, what the heck is juice?
yeah,
Sorry, is he going?
Yeah, well, I'm finding that awakening here. I live pretty remote in BC and I'm surrounded by nature. I can walk 5 minutes and have an experience that people post about traveling on the other side of the world right now. So I know I've been getting a lot of grounding myself and having a break from, my full job is being on the computer all day and facilitating to young adults. So I'm on the computer, I get off the computer, I go watch a TV show, and I find that I needed a little awakening myself of a break. So going into nature and taking walks and being just like presently there has helped my mind ease. I want to bring up memory of summer camp because this was probably the summer camp was just really beautiful thing to see. But I remember, Dylan, we would have rules that people wouldn't be able to use their phones at summer camp. So kids were like, what? Like, we can't use our phone. And we were like, no, they're like, this is an experience. Like, we're all here at summer camp. This is the one time. And I remember the junior mentors, we would be a little bit flexible at the end of the day, but majority of the day was all about being with one another, trying new things out for the first time, like sports, activities, arts related things, and them tapping into like, learning that they could maybe do a talent show and be in front of people and perform something. So it's this beautiful time. Yeah. It was a beautiful time to see that it is possible. And we weren't parents, to these campers, but we were young leaders at the time. We're older now, but young leaders at the time, leading a group of people and like saying like, hey, this is a space for us to really connect and not be on technology, because when you go home, that's probably what you're going to be able to do and, have access to that. But during these camp hours, we're all here together, going outside and playing on the playground, going to take walks, going to Gregar Lake, experiencing a beach day together. And everyone connected so well. And it was just, I remember like some parents even saying like, what, they weren't on any technology all day? Are you sure? Like, that's my child. I'm like, yeah, like they also just did a talent show and sung a song for everybody. And they're like, what? Like, so they were the parents were actually experiencing, hearing and seeing like the possibilities when technology isn't so heavily relied on. And so I think there's pockets where people can implement that, but you also have to be a role model to that and put time aside and invest in that time. So then you can see some of these beautiful things that happen just from genuine connection. But yeah, and I think there's pros for technology. My job is fully on technology, and I've seen like how far we can connect with different people from different communities that they may not be able to be accessible to come into the office would have been an experience. But with COVID, we all are able to still provide a service and be able to, give so many resources and make things more accessible for people. So there is a pro to that. But to bring it back to the basics, everyone can do and invest. It's all about that investment and swapping out being on your phone to going out in nature, or swapping out being on your phone to playing a board game with your family and experiencing that. Because board games are on phones, but and if it's not family, with friends or that kind of thing.
Big time. And I think that goes back to exactly what Kwame said. That was all summer camp. Remember, like, I was also not on my phone, and I was also playing basketball, and I was also drawing chalk pictures, and you were like, we were engaged. We didn't make a rule and then just kick back and text whoever and be like, no, go play over there. Like, we were in it, we were doing it, and the kids just feed off of that naturally, and that's what
true.
it's about.
That's true. Well, first off, shout out to anybody that was at that SOS summer camp. And if you're there, hey, give a comment down below. Tell Dylan and Izzy about your time there. Show some love.
I'm looking at you, Riley. I'm looking at you.
But yeah, Dylan, you just nailed it right there. Sometimes it's not about what you say, it's about what you do. Kids are always watching. Remember that.
All right. What do you think? That's a good place to end.
I think that's a great place to end. Dylan, hit them with the outro. Let's go.
All right. And I actually just quick, I just want to say, this is our perspective on mentoring. We're sharing a couple stories, maybe some insights on a situation. But if anybody you're dealing with is in immediate danger, please do the right thing and call the police, a crisis worker, take them to the hospital. Don't let this podcast make you think that this is us dealing with emergency situations for you by answering questions. I'm saying that now because I don't know what questions we're going to have in the future. So please just, if someone's in immediate danger, this is not the spot to be at. Go get real help. Yeah. All right.
Hit them with the outro. Let's go.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, there's not one way to mentor. This is just our perspective. See you next week. That was it, yeah? All right. We're going to stop recording. Turn off your cameras in 1, 2.
Already did it.
Oh, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. It only matters when we start.